Well, good evening. It's just past 8 o'clock here, my time. I've been trying to sleep. I sleep any time that I can. I'm laying down frequently. I don't always get the rest that I would like to get. In any case, my friend Tony made arrangements with a healer who is also a walk-in who lives here in Florida, and she's going to work with me. And he wanted me to write down all of my symptoms and everything, and email it to him so that he could email it to her and set everything up and get things moving. Uh, it's too much work for me to have to type it out into an email and make a list of all the things. So what I decided to do is simply, and I'm going to read now the blurb. It's called "My Symptoms" is the title of this, and I make a parenthetical statement at the beginning. It says the dates were off on the last couple of videos. Indeed, I was looking at it as if Sunday was the first day, and this calendar, Monday is the first day, and Sunday is the last day, so that throws me off. But anyway, my friend Tony has made arrangements with a walk-in healer to help me. I'm supposed to list all my symptoms, etc., and email it to him. It's much easier for me to make a video. This will give everyone who so desires to know more about what is going on with me and where I need prayers. Okay, let's get started. First of all, I'm making a transition between the prescription medications and the natural remedies that replace the prescription drugs. I don't trust prescription drugs, for those of you that don't know, because there's a monetary thing that's in there. The drug companies are some of the most richly rewarded companies on the planet. It's all about making money. They purposefully put side effects or put extra ingredients into the drugs that they prescribe, so that people will have to take more drugs. As I've said in previous videos, my dad, they kept adding another drug, till he was taking a dozen or more drugs by the time that he passed away at age 54. And I certainly don't want to go through that routine. And I don't trust the American pharmaceutical companies or the world pharmaceutical companies, because everything is corporatized and it's for profit. I'm not going to pretend that the alternative industry of non-drug drugs, I'm not going to pretend that that's not monetarily driven as well. But I think that there's more honesty and more integrity in that than there is in the primary industry. So anyway, that's why I'm making this video, to cover some of that stuff. And as I said, I'm making a transition between the prescribed medications and the non-prescription medications, trying to substitute natural remedies wherever I can for what the drug is supposed to do on the other end, to stabilize my heart. One of the things that I noticed is they keep talking about treatment of high blood pressure. I don't have high blood pressure. I've never had high blood pressure, other than maybe spontaneous instances or something like that. But as a general rule, I do not have a problem with my blood pressure. In fact, I would not have been able to do the surgery that I had most recently had I had high blood pressure, because that's a contraindication not to do the surgery. I have normal blood pressure of approximately 120/80, and that was for a long time, that was the target norm. Although they've lowered it by 10 points, I think, in more recent years. But in any case, my blood pressure runs right there, and so I don't need blood pressure medication. And the beta blockers and stuff like that are primarily for blood pressure. And again, I have a rapid heart rate because my heart is operating at about 15 to 20% efficiency. Now, you hear that and it sounds really low, and it is. Uh, However, nobody's heart operates at 100 or 90 or 80% efficiency. A normal heart is in the 50 to 60% efficiency range. So I'm quite a bit below the normal, which means my heart has to beat more often. There's too many heartbeats that are going on so that my heart can get the blood that it needs all throughout my body. Now, it's not allowing the circulation of the fluids, of the water buildup. I probably have 10 pounds of water buildup in my body. I'm weighing about 194 pounds most recently as of this morning. And I would venture to say that 10 pounds of that is in my legs and especially my feet. My ankles are swollen. I was supposed to take the dimensions of them and measure them. I do know this. My slippers work, my flip-flops work. I imagine my sneakers work, although I have not tried to put sneakers on. But as far as my loafers and my boots and stuff like that, forget it. My feet, it would be almost like strangulation of my feet. My feet are still numb. The front half of each foot down to the toes is numb, and again, very, very swollen. Although not as bad as it was when I first went into the hospital in Gainesville when they put me in intensive care. And for 4 days I was in intensive care, and then the next step below intensive care, and my ankles ballooned. I mean, they were huge because they didn't treat me properly. It's funny because Shands, I thought, did a very good job overall in how I was treated when I was there, except when I was admitted and when I was discharged. When I was discharged, they rushed me out of there quickly. I didn't even have time to finish my meal. I didn't have time to pack my own bags and stuff like that. They packed my bags for me and got me out of there into an exiting room, and where they interviewed me for a couple of hours before my son got there and relieved and picked me up and gave me the ride home. So I don't think they handled my entrance and my exit very well. But overall, I thought Shands did a very good job in the way that I was treated, and I think the operation was superb. Although, as I say, right now I do have the complications of a rapid heartbeat with normal blood pressure, and it's making that rapid heartbeat to get the blood through the body, but it's not allowing the water to come up and be discharged. Now, I also noticed a symptom of my heart and chest cavity seems to be under more pressure as time goes on here. I suspect, I don't know, but I suspect that this is the buildup of scar tissue. I know my dad, who had 4 open heart surgeries, had to have 2 operations simply to remove scar tissue. This is not acceptable as I see it. I mean, I don't want any operations of my open heart to remove scar tissue, because that's just, that's got to be corrected miraculously or something like that. But an operation is not the way that I ever want to go again. Any kind of chest cavity operation, we've got to get beyond that method of treating symptoms, and that's all it does is treat symptoms. So these are some of the things that I've noticed. Again, the swelling of the ankles and legs and the water retention are probably the biggest problems that I have. I probably, as I said, weigh at least 10 pounds more than what I actually weigh because of the buildup of water in my tissues. So if this healer, who is a walk-in, can deal with that, and I'm hoping that this is enough information without me actually getting a tape measure out and measuring the circumference of my legs in various points, or of my ankles, or of my feet. I don't know where that is even necessary. I've described what what the effect is on putting footwear on my body. So in any case, I'm appreciative of Tony and his friend, who is going to be helping me from a more holistic and spiritual point of view as a walk-in, as someone that is specially gifted to be here right now to perform certain things, and she's working with me. She's actually been in my house, and she might have even been one of the speakers at one or two of the meetings that I've had here when I used to have meetings here every week. Anyway, there goes went black, the screen blank for a little bit. Anyway, that's the update, and I've covered my symptoms. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I left out? Tiredness is my biggest symptom. I do not get enough sleep. I'm awakened every 2 hours approximately, around the clock, to pee and to poop. And that's got to stop. I don't mind it during the day, but at night when I need to get my rest, I need to get solid 4, 5, or even 6 hours consecutive sleep in a row in order to heal, because rest is essential to the healing process, and I do not get enough. I'm constantly tired. I constantly feel drained, and even when I'm able to sleep, I'm awakened every 2 hours to use the bathroom. So I trust that this will cover all the things that the healer needs in her repertoire to do the work with me. I don't know when Tony's going to arrange it, that I actually meet with her. I think she lives about an hour's drive south of me, and we'll see what happens in the future. But I thank you for listening, and I thank you, those of you that are so inclined, for your prayers and your support and your love that you send my way to help me in this process of regaining all of my functions normally, so that I can continue and move forward in the task that I believe and feel strongly that God gave me to do in this lifetime. So thank you for listening, and